Have you ever felt like you lost your joy and you cannot remember where it went? As if it slipped out of your life quietly while you were busy surviving? Have you ever tried to meditate for peace and then discovered the hardest part is not sitting still? It is facing the feelings that appear when the noise finally stops. Welcome back to the channel. Today we are stepping into a combination that many people feel drawn to for a very simple reason. It feels like it touches the heart and the nervous system at the same time. AUM meditation, Andam Mani Padme. Some people call it a joy frequency. Some people call it a healing vibration. Some people call it devotion. But if we want to go deeper than labels, we need to talk about what actually changes when you repeat these sounds with sincerity. The first idea is that joy is not a prize you win after life becomes perfect. Joy is a capacity that returns when the mind stops feeding suffering with the same old habits. The second idea is that these sounds become powerful when they train awakening, wisdom, karma purification, compassion, steady practice, and a new relationship with destiny that is not built on fear. Let me start with a story that feels ordinary, because the most important spiritual lessons rarely arrive with fireworks. There was someone who said, "I do not feel like myself anymore." They could still smile in public. They could still do their tasks. They could still be polite, but inside, they felt flat. Not always sad, just dim. They described it like this: "It is like my life has color on the outside, but inside it is grayscale." People around them gave the usual advice: go outside, exercise more, be grateful, think positive. Those suggestions were not evil, but they did not touch the deeper layer, because the deeper layer was not a lack of activities. It was a lack of inner safety. Their nervous system had been braced for so long that joy felt unsafe. When you live in survival mode, your mind becomes a guard. A guard does not celebrate. A guard scans. A guard plans. A guard prepares for danger, even when danger is drawn. The guard keeps working because it does not trust silence. One night, when the house was quiet, they searched for something that could feel gentle but real. They found an audio session that blended AUM meditation with Om Mani Padme Hum. They did not choose it because they understood everything. They chose it because they were tired of fighting themselves. They pressed play. At first, they felt impatience. The mind said, "This is too slow." The mind said, "This is not doing anything." The mind said, "I should be fixing my life," not listening to sounds. But they stayed, not because they were already disciplined, but because they were too tired to run again. Then, something small happened. Their breath deepened. Their shoulders dropped. It was not dramatic, but it was honest. Their body finally got the signal that for these minutes, it did not need to defend. The mind was still noisy, but the noise felt farther away. And for a few seconds, a feeling came that they had not felt in a long time. Softness, not excitement. Softness, like the heart was remembering it is allowed to rest. This is where the real teaching begins. Many people think joy is excitement, but deep joy often begins as softness. Softness is the nervous system leaving battle mode. Softness is the heart unclenching. Softness is the mind releasing its grip on control for one breath. If you have been braced for years, softness feels like a miracle. The person listened again the next day, and the next. They began to treat this not as a magical cure, but as a daily return. Now let us talk about AUM first, because people often misunderstand it. AUM is not only a sound, It is a training in breath and attention. When you chant or listen deeply, you naturally lengthen the exhale. A longer exhale tends to calm the nervous system. A calmer nervous system makes the mind less aggressive. A less aggressive mind gives the heart space. Space is where joy can grow. But there is also symbolism. AUM is often treated as a symbol of wholeness. When you are depressed or anxious, your world shrinks to one story. I am not enough. I am behind. Something will go wrong. Nobody understands me. These stories feel total when you are inside them. AUM invites you to feel something larger than the story, not by forcing belief, but by giving attention a steady anchor that is bigger than your thought stream. Now let us talk about Om Mani Padme, because many people have heard it but do not know how to relate to it without turning it into superstition. A mature way to approach this mantra is to see it as a training in compassion and purification. Compassion is not only kindness toward others. Compassion is also the courage to stop harming yourself with inner violence. Purification is not punishment. Purification is the process of seeing what is unwholesome in your habits and gently letting it dissolve through awareness and repeated wise choices. When people connect Om Mani Padme with joy, it is often because true joy is closely tied to compassion. If your heart is full of resentment, joy cannot stay. If your heart is full of shame, joy cannot stay. If your mind is full of comparison, joy cannot stay. Compassion does not instantly delete these patterns, but it changes how you hold them. And how you hold them determines whether they poison you or pass through you. So the person in the story began to notice something unexpected. The practice was not only calming, it was revealing. During the first week, they felt more emotions rising. Sadness appeared. Old memories appeared. A heaviness in the chest appeared. They panicked and thought, "This is making me worse." But then they realized something. The heaviness was always there. It was simply hidden under constant distraction. When you finally slow down, the body shows you what it has been carrying. This is why spiritual practice can feel uncomfortable at first. Not because it is dangerous, but because it is honest. It turns the lights on. Here is where awakening becomes practical. Awakening means you stop being hypnotized by your emotions and thoughts. You begin to see them as movements. Sadness is a movement. Fear is a movement. Anger is a movement. Even numbness is a movement. When you see movement as movement, it stops being identity. You stop saying, "I am broken." You start saying, "There is sadness here." That shift sounds small, but it is the difference between drowning and swimming. The person kept practicing unlearned a new skill. They learned it to feel without becoming. They would listen to AUM and feel vibration in the body. They would let the breath lengthen. Then when Om Mani Padme began, they would let the hearts soften and they would mentally aim the repetition toward whatever felt tight inside. Not to force it away, but to hold it with compassion. They did not always feel better immediately, but they noticed they recovered faster. A bad mood would still appear, but it would not last as long. A stressful day would still happen, but the night would not be destroyed by endless replay. These are not small changes. They are life-changing changes, because many people are not suffering only from events. They are suffering from the duration of the inner spiral after the event. Now let us connect this to karma, because karma is the most practical spiritual concept once you stop treating it like fear. Karma is momentum. It is what happens when you repeat causes. If you repeat harsh self-talk, your nervous system stays tense. If you repeat avoidance, your stress grows. If you repeat resentment, your heart stays heavy. If you repeat compassion and steady practice, the inner climate changes. The person began to see that their lack of joy was not random. It was the result of repeated causes. They had been repeating exhaustion, repeating comparison, repeating overwork, repeating late night scrolling, repeating inner criticism. These were their hidden mantras. AUM Mani Padme became replacement repetitions, not replacements that deny reality, replacements that train a new inner rhythm. Here is the deep point. Your life is shaped by what you repeat most. If you repeat worry, you live in worry. If you repeat gratitude with sincerity, you notice support. If you repeat compassion, you reduce harm. If you repeat awareness, you stop being controlled by every passing thought. This is why mantra practice can change destiny. Because destiny is not only what happens to you. Destiny is what you repeatedly do in response to what happens to you. Now let me tell you about a turning point in the story that made everything real. The person had a conflict with someone close. Old tension, old misunderstandings. The kind of conflict that can destroy the day and then linger for weeks. In the past, they would either explode or withdraw. Either way, the relationship would get colder. This time, after the conflict, they went to their practice. They listened to AUM first. They let the breath slow. They felt the heat in the body. They did not pretend they were calm. They simply stayed present. Then Om Mani Padme Hum began and something shifted. They realized the anger was real, but beneath it was fear. Fear of being disrespected, fear of being unseen, fear of being powerless. They had been using anger as armor. In that moment, compassion appeared. Not naive compassion that excuses harm, but clear compassion that sees the wound underneath the armor. They saw their own wound, and then they saw the other person's wound too. This is where wisdom and compassion meet. Wisdom says, if I attack now, I will create more suffering. Compassion says, I do not want to add harm. They chose a different action. They waited before replying. They apologized for their harsh tone without surrendering their boundary. They asked for a calmer conversation later. The conflict did not become perfect, but it did not become poison. A loop cracked. That is karma purification in real time. And when loops crack, destiny changes. Because relationships stop repeating the same damage. Now let us talk about joy again. Because this is the word many people want. Joy does not always come as a sudden high. Often it returns like a small lamp being lit. First you notice you can breathe. Then you notice you can sleep a little better. Then you notice you can laugh without forcing it. Then you notice you can enjoy a simple meal. Then you notice you can feel gratitude for something small. These are the steps. The person began to experience this. One morning they noticed sunlight on the wall and felt a quiet appreciation. Another day they heard a friend laugh and felt warmth. Another day they finished a task and felt honest satisfaction instead of only relief. These moments used to be rare. Now they appeared more often. And here is the important part. They did not cling to them. They did not demand them. They treated them as signs of a nervous system returning to balance. This is where practice becomes mature. Mature practice does not chase experiences. It becomes stable through all experiences. Some days you feel open. Some days you feel closed. Some days you feel peaceful. Some days you feel restless. The practice is not to force the same feeling every day. The practice is to keep returning with sincerity. Now I want to address a common misunderstanding about channeling joy frequency language. Some people will get lost in concepts and forget the practical heart. So let us keep it grounded. If you use this kind of session, use it as a daily training in 3 things. First, train breath. Let the exhale lengthen. Let the body soften. Second, train attention. When you wander, return. Returning is the success. Third, train compassion. When pain rises, hold it without violence. Hold yourself without harshness. Then extend that gentleness outward into how you treat others. If these 3 are happening, then the session is doing what it should do in a spiritually mature way. You are growing awakening, wisdom, karmic clarity, compassion, practice, and a steadier destiny. Now let us bring in destiny directly, because many listeners feel trapped by fate. The person used to say, "This is just who I am. I am anxious. I am numb. I am not joyful." That sentence was a destiny sentence. Destiny sentences become self-fulfilling because they shut down practice. After months of steady mantra and meditation, they stopped using destiny sentences. They began using practice sentences. I can return. I can breathe. I can choose one wise step. I can be kind. I can repair. I can learn. These sentences are not fake positivity. They are commitments. Commitments change destiny because they change causes. And when you change causes long enough, your life becomes different. Now I will close with a reflection that I want you to carry into your own day. AUM can be a doorway into wholeness. AUM Mani Pad Mom can be a doorway into compassion. Wholeness and compassion together are a doorway into joy that is not fragile. Fragile joy depends on perfect conditions. Deep joy depends on inner freedom. Inner freedom is built by awareness and practice. So if you are seeking joy, do not only seek a feeling. Seek a way of living that stops feeding suffering. Seek a way of living that reduces harm. Seek a way of living that returns to presence when you wander. That is the kind of joy that lasts longer than a good day. Thank you for being here with me today. If you have been feeling dim or heavy or emotionally tired, I hope this talk gave you a gentler way to approach healing without forcing yourself to perform happiness. Start with breath. Start with 1 repetition. Start with returning. Now I want to invite you to share your story in the comments. When do you feel your joy disappear most often? During stress, during conflict, during comparison, during exhaustion, or something else? And if you have tried AUM or AUM Mani Padme Hum, what did you notice in your body and your daily reactions over time? If you want more long-form videos that connect mantra meditation with awakening, wisdom, karma, compassion, steady practice, and destiny, subscribe to the channel, like the video, and leave a comment so more people can find this space. Your support helps keep these conversations alive and helps turn sound into real transformation.